All right, well, we are presenting another brief video for the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Northeast Iowa. We have a couple of guests with us today. We'd like to recognize Mayor Brad Hart, who's the mayor of Cedar Rapids, a great public servant. This is a nonpartisan position. He's there because he loves to serve the community, and he's been a great support to the church and our efforts to serve the community as well. So we have invited some additional guests, and we're all going to ask Mayor Hart a little bit about serving in the community. So I'll introduce next the Hallam family. Heidi, do you want to introduce your family again?
I'm Heidi Hallam. These are my kids. Grace, Jonah, Ben, Annabelle, and Olivia.
Great. And they are a wonderful family in the stake, and they do a lot of good service in the community. And they have a question for Mayor Hart as well. So we also have with us two of our full-time missionaries serving in the stake, Sister Sellers from Provo, Utah, and Sister Siemens from American Fork?
Yes.
Okay, from American Fork. And they serve in the Bowman Ward boundaries, and we're grateful to have them with us as well. So Mayor Hart, I'll start with my question. And my question is a very simple one. I think we'd all like to know what inspires you to serve so much in the community. You have quite a history of community service, and we'd love to hear what inspires you to do it.
Well, thanks for having me today. And I have to say, Grace, I have a granddaughter whose name is Grace, so I love that name. I think the simple answer is I serve to give back and to help others. There's just, I guess maybe there's some, and to help lead causes that I believe in. So there's just something about working with others, serving for a cause you believe in, and then having that, accomplishing that goal or that cause. It just gives you this real sense of purpose and satisfaction. Some of it's probably being a little impatient, where I think there's a cause I believe in, and I think maybe I can move it forward more quickly than some other people. So there might be a little bit of impatience in it, but there's just really something special. I think maybe my all-time favorite quote is Winston Churchill: "We make a living by what we do, we make a life by what we give." And I believe that's true.
Thank you. Thank you. I love that answer. I know that Jonah, you have a question for Mayor Hart too. Do you want to go ahead and ask it?
Yeah. We would like to know what we can do as a stake and as individuals to help serve our community in this time of unrest.
Well, I thank you for the service you are already doing for our community. It's really important. Obviously, right now with the pandemic, we have to be a little more careful. I think that the simplest things would be to continue to reach out to your family and your friends and coworkers in that situation. Just any way you can, reach out, just to make sure they know you care and that you're checking on them. But I did check with the United Way of East Central Iowa, because they have a great website for volunteering. And they gave me, and I'll send this email to Joseph, but Camp Wapsie needs 30 to 40 volunteers to get the campground ready for campers this summer. The Catherine McCauley Center needs people to help get their garden areas ready for planting. And the His Hands Free Clinic is moving to a new location, and they need people to help box up supplies and take some shelving apart, and even to move some of their smaller items to their new location. And United Way is going to do a book drive for Benton, Jones, and Lynn County on June 13th. So I'll send this to Joseph, but I also would encourage you to look at the United Way website, because they have lots of volunteer opportunities and really helping to serve those in need. We are going to start a municipal volunteer program, MVP, and we were going to start it this spring, but with the pandemic, we've had to kind of put that on hold. But as soon as that's up and running, I will get that information out to Joseph too, because that's going to give people a chance to volunteer for the city. And that might be working in some of our parks or on our trails, of lots of different opportunities, because this community is such a giving community. And if we get people, give them a chance to volunteer, they feel more connected to the community. And frankly, everyone wins when people volunteer. So
Thank you.
more
That's,
to come on MVP.
Awesome.
make sure to send all of that information out with this video to the stake. We cover roughly all of northeastern Iowa with roughly 3,300 members, and so we're hoping to spread the word and continue to serve in our communities, and that information.
Right.
Sisters, I know you have a question as well. Sister Sellers, do you want to go ahead and fire away?
Yeah, so our question was, what is the best way you feel to spread positive vibes around Cedar Rapids at this time where people may feel a little pessimistic or afraid?
Well, as I mentioned, I think reaching out to people in your congregation, reaching out to your friends and your family, your schoolmates, coworkers, just letting people know that you're out there. You haven't forgotten about them. You might even send someone a handwritten note. I mentioned that to some high school students recently, and they're like, "What? Oh, okay, I could do that." But any way you can reach out to let people know you're thinking about them and asking if they need anything and how you might be able to help them. Um, just being out and about in a safe way, and spreading just, I don't know, it's just an attitude thing. Reminding people we will get through this. This is a really strong, hardworking, and resilient community. And it's a very kind and generous community. And people will give back and people will care for each other. And if we remind people of that we recovered from the 2008 flood, that was the fourth worst disaster in US history at the time. And yet nobody died, nobody looted. We got back because people helped muck out houses and helped give back in any way they could. And we're doing that again already. And as soon as the social distancing loosens up a little more, I think you'll see more and more people out and about. It's just really an critical part of our recovery. And then I think if you want to share some good news about this pandemic, I think it probably has given most of us, all of us, an opportunity to pause a bit. We often fill our lives with some things that are maybe not that important to us. You get asked to do something and you don't really care, but okay, I'll do it. Because so many of those things have been postponed or canceled, I'm hoping that we all can have a moment in your home to think about what's really important in your life. And then as the pandemic ends, hopefully we don't just go back to that busyness. We continue to focus on the most important things in our lives. And that's going to benefit each of us, our families, our faith, our community. So I think that is a silver lining in this pandemic, giving us the time to pause.
Well, Mayor Hart, your words have been very inspiring and helpful. We really appreciate the time you've spent with us this morning and the message you shared. We're excited to share it with the rest of the membership of our congregations in Northeast Iowa. Also want to thank the Hallam family. We're grateful you're joining us. We're also grateful for Bishop Hallam, who's out serving as a physician right now. And for Sister Sellers and Sister Siemens, we really appreciate your service. So thank you again, and we will get through this together and appreciate your message.
Thank you, Joseph. Just everyone, give yourselves and everyone around you some grace and some space.
Like it.
Thank you.